Wellness and reablement are often referred to in the same breath. Often you'll hear people say things like, our service takes a wellness and reablement approach, but they're actually two different, although very similar concepts. One of them is all about keeping someone well so that they can continue to do important things in their life, and the other is about helping someone to recover and be able to do something again. Let's take a closer look at these twin concepts and how you can uphold them in the work that you do. Hi, I'm Carrie Ackers from Culturally Directed Care Solutions, where we give you the knowledge and tools to provide quality care with confidence. If you're interested in understanding the aged care sector better, then consider subscribing so you can stay up to date with the latest in industry reforms and practices. Now, the terms wellness and reablement are embedded into the objectives of the Commonwealth Government's home-based care programs. These include the Commonwealth Home Support Program, or CHSP, and the Transitional Care Program. The terms wellness and reablement recognise and reflect the concepts that people are individuals with a history of independence and a desire to age well. They replace the idea of passive acceptance of care and support by well-meaning family carers, support workers and health professionals. Instead, what they do is make sure that the individual remains in charge and in the driver's seat of their own life, with others becoming collaborators. It's about developing ways that enhances the overall quality of life for the person. But let's break down the terms a bit more and take a deeper dive into these concepts. Wellness is about identifying the needs, the aspirations and the goals of a person, and then helping them do things that maintain or lead them towards a fulfilling life with those goals and aspirations in mind. Wellness acknowledges and builds on the person's strengths and has a focus on making support services a pathway to greater independence and quality of life. So what might this look like in reality? Well, let's take Frank, an 87-year-old man whose wife's recently passed away. Now he has to cook for himself, something he's never had to do before. For a while he might subsist on bread and tea and the odd takeaway, but a few months down the track his daughter visits and gets shocked to notice that he's lost a substantial amount of weight. His daughter's worried about that trend continuing, so she says to Dad, "Why don't you get some Meals on Wheels?" But Frank's not interested. He does mention though he would like to learn how to cook. So his daughter follows this up with a call to a local service provider to see if they can help. And after a referral and My Aged Care assessment, Frank starts receiving help that includes a weekly shopping trip and someone to teach him how to prepare his own meals. The service provider also links Frank into a community cooking program run by the local council. There he meets other older men who are learning the new skill of cooking as well. You can imagine the lasting camaraderie that develops from this sort of program. And Frank continues to link up weekly with the others from the course, where they all get together and eat and socialise together. After 6 months, Frank no longer needs the aged care service for cooking lessons. However, he continues to access transport services to do his shopping so he can keep cooking meals for himself and his friends. Now that is wellness. But what about reablement? Reablement is about helping people to regain functional capacity, the ability to carry out tasks and improve independence. Similar to rehabilitation, it's goal-oriented and aims at full recovery where possible. Now, in one of our previous videos, we looked at preventing slips, trips and falls. But what happens when a fall occurs and the person ends up needing help to regain their health and previous way of life? Well, let's look at how reablement might look in the real world. So this time we have Nettie. Nettie is an 80-year-old woman who's been living independently at home since her husband passed away 9 years earlier. Although she has a close-knit family, her daughters live a couple of hours away from her. Unfortunately, Nettie recently had a fall and broke her hip. But after a successful hip replacement operation, the doctors are now considering discharging Nettie. But with no one at home to help her, Nettie needs to recover somewhere else. One of her daughters is keen for Nettie to stay with her while she recovers, but because she works, she needs someone to come in and help Nettie with her personal care, at least for the first few weeks. So Nettie's discharged and has been approved to receive support through the Transitional Care Program. At our daughter's home, Nettie is visited by a physiotherapist who develops an exercise program aimed at supporting her recovery. A shower chair is provided and a care worker comes each morning to help Nettie with her personal care, as well as, to make up her bed and tidy her room. After the first week, Nettie feels a lot more confident and is able to shower herself, but she asks the care worker if she can shower in private whilst the care worker continues to tidy up her room. After a month, Nettie's able to confidently shower by herself and tidy up her own room, including making her bed. Nettie continues with her rehabilitation exercises, and after 8 weeks she's able to return home. Unfortunately though, she can't drive for another month, so Nettie is approved to receive transport services to go to the shops and attend appointments. At the end of another 4 weeks, Nettie is given the all clear from the surgeon to return to driving. She also receives another visit from an assessor, and as Nettie is feeling confident about living at home, she's taken off the transitional care package. Their discussion though highlights that Nettie needs assistance with maintaining her yard, as mowing the grass is now more difficult for her and she's a bit worried about tripping over again. This gets approved through the Commonwealth Home Support Program. So Nettie has now moved into the wellness phase of support, where she continues to receive a small amount of ongoing support that helps her to remain independently living at home. So while short-term intensive interventions are sometimes required within this framework, the concepts of wellness and reablement seek to provide longer-term benefits for consumers. And while in the beginning this wellness and reablement approach can cost more, research has shown that it can significantly reduce or slow the rate of functional decline in older people. And really, how do we put a price on the value of that for an individual? And that brings us to how you can support the concepts of wellness and reablement. If you work in the industry as a care worker, you have the ability to support a wellness and reablement approach with the clients you are engaging with. So how do you do that? Firstly, follow the care plan. Resist the desire to do more than what has been agreed upon. Don't take it on yourself to empty your client's rubbish bin if this isn't in their plan and they're more than able to do that task. That small activity might be what helps them get up off the couch, get outside and engage with their neighbours. Encourage the person to do small daily tasks that improve or maintain functional skills. For example, get them to bring in the laundry or wash their own dishes if there's no physical impediment to them doing so. Try to do things with the person rather than for them. For example, have them help you with the laundry. If they can't hang out the washing, they can probably still hand over the pegs and tell you how they like to have their clothes hung out. Or have them push the shopping trolley and encourage them to make choices in the shops and get them picking up items that don't weigh too much. Encourage your clients to complete any therapy activities that they've been given. This is going to help them regain any lost strength or abilities, so it's really important for them to follow through on these. Encourage them to use aids and equipment that can help them to carry out activities of daily living independently. Now, there's a huge range of assistive devices around these days: can openers, vegetable peelers, zipper pullers, buttoning aids. So if something has been provided to the client, encourage them to use it. Make sure you give people sufficient time to complete tasks independently. Don't just rush in and do something for them. I think we need to consider how many people have lost their independence simply because care workers were too busy to give the person time to do something for themselves. And encourage your clients to talk about their goals, and where it's relevant and appropriate, pass that information on to their case manager or to your supervisor. So this can be followed up and they can be supported in meaningful ways. So hopefully you now know what wellness and reablement are, and you can keep these concepts in mind when you're out providing support. And when you're out and about, hopefully you're writing up your observations correctly and passing along relevant information to others in your team. But do you ever find yourself wondering what you should be writing down? If so, you'll want to be subscribed and make sure that you hit the notification bell, because in one of the next videos, I'll be starting our series on progress notes, and I'll be talking about what information you should be capturing when writing progress notes. And while you wait for that next video, I highly recommend that you check out our other videos. Perhaps that slips, trips and falls one if you haven't done so already. And if you have anything to add to the conversation around wellness and reablement, or you want to give us some feedback on this video, then please add it in the comments section below. Because when it comes to providing quality care, we're all in this together. And as always, I appreciate you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day and an even better week. Keep caring, and I'll see you in one of our next videos.